Hi guys, I wanted to show you how I make my own rolls, hot dog buns, hamburger buns. So you're gonna need to get your bread flour out. If you're gonna want them to be perfect, you're gonna need bread flour for this. You're also going to need 1 package of active yeast. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna combine 1 packet of active yeast, 3 tablespoons of sugar, in a 1/4 cup of warm water. You're gonna set that to the side. You're gonna let that do its thing for about 10 minutes. Then in another bowl, you're going to get 3½ cups of bread flour, 1/4 cup of melted butter, and then you're going to also need 1.5 teaspoons to a tablespoon of kosher salt. We are not afraid of a little salt in this house. So if you love salty bread, have at it. You're going to set your oven on 425. Now, after your yeast and your sugar and your water has finished doing its thing, you're going to bring it over and you're going to combine it into the bowl with your bread flour, your butter, and your salt. So here is our water. We already added our salt. So now we just need to stir. So I don't have a mixer, but this is how I've been mixing my dough, and honestly, it's not terrible. So we're just gonna stir and stir until we get to the consistency that we want. And then I am gonna get in there with my hands after I get it good and mixed. That's when you're gonna come in and you're really gonna wanna knead the dough. You're gonna want to make sure that you have it all together. Make sure you got all that flour kneaded together. This is very different from sourdough, because with sourdough, you don't want it to be too tight. You want it to be looser. Now, ooh, we have really kneaded this a lot. Here we go. I just keep kneading over and over. Woo, baby. All right, so there we go. Now, here's what we're gonna do next. Ooh, my hands. So, gonna cover with oil, and then we're gonna cover it for 30 minutes. Now we're gonna let this rest. Okay, so I took my dough out and I've got it laying here on my cutting board. Now your dough, if it's a little wetter than this, that's fine. You can sprinkle some dough on your cutting board. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stretch these out just a little bit. And I'm gonna get my pan. So I've got my big pan here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut up some rolls, and then I'm gonna put them on the pan, cover them for another 30 minutes, and then we'll put them in the oven. Okay, so as I said, stretching these out, and I am cutting them. I'm just using a brownie cutter. I'm cutting them and I'm placing them on my pan. It's that simple. And these are the best rolls you are ever going to have. You are going to love them so much. I got this recipe somewhere off of TikTok, but these are so tasty. I'm going to make these for a party we're going to this weekend, my husband's cousins, and I'm praying that the sourdough gods will bless me with an active starter so we can have sourdough. I am praying because I really, really, really want to be able to give everybody sourdough loaves. I just think that would be amazing. These are pretty neat. You can make them as small or as little as you want. So after you shape them and lay them there, you're going to butter the top. Oop. There we go. But these are so wonderful. These are so tasty. I have a bread machine, and I mean, I prefer to make these by hand every time. I still use my bread machine for other things, but it comes in handy for sure. But I love these. These are wonderful little rolls. And you can feel them puffing up as you reach the end. Wonderful. So I'm going to top them with olive oil. So I put the olive oil in my hand and then I just dip it out and brush the tops. Now, if you've got hot dog buns and you're making hot dog buns, that's perfectly fine. You can, you know, brush them with real butter if you prefer. But this is what I do. And then after I wash my hands, I'm going to start covering my bread, and we're going to let them rise for 30 minutes. This is a lot easier to work with than saran wrap. There we go. So, got those covered, and let me get one more piece. Yeah, so about 20 to 30 minutes, and these will be ready. And you can bake anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes, okay? Put them in the oven after they've risen for 30 minutes, and they should be ready in 15 minutes, and this is what they'll look like. So yummy.